And we are live. It's been a little bit. We've been slow on shows, but we're coming back again with a good one tonight. I'm joined by my dear friend. She's out there killing it in the production and acting and just a woman of everything. Once again, welcome, Miss Nicole Vegas. Clap. I forgot the applause, but
do it for
we'll give it to herself. Let's see if we can find it fast. There we go. And Nicole, we wanted to talk about Desert Fiends, and you're like, you know what? Let me see if this legendary actress from a movie that has caused many, many, many nightmares, the legendary Exorcist movie. We got Miss Eileen Dietz. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Truly an honor for you to join us in such short notice. And I thank you so much. And now you're in The Exorcist. You can say a bit about your brief scene in Halloween 2, because I told you I got to get you to sign that and the other thing. But now you're working with Nicole and Sean C. Phillips, and you're in Desert Fiends with Brett Wagner, Lee Waddell. Great cast, and it's going to be coming out soon.
Scout Compton.
Scout Taylor Compton,
Eric
Roberts, and
Tom Arnold's and that, right?
Troy and Lisa Wilcox. We got a whole bunch in there.
Tom Arnold. Is Eric Roberts in that too?
Mm-hmm.
List the legends.
I saw a notice that Eric Roberts has done more indie films than any other person on earth.
He's the marathon man on him. He's in a lot of them. I think it's great because he's such a cool talent, a cool actor to watch in any role he does. So I'm excited to see him in Desert Fiends along with you.
And Skate to Hell.
And Skate to Hell, yeah. They've been busy over there, Sean and Nicole. They got a bunch of films that are coming out and they're going to be working on, and has, iconic cast joining them in all these films that you mentioned. Scout Taylor, Eric Roberts, Brett Wagner, yourself, Lee Waddell, the list goes, Scout Taylor Compton, the list goes on. Tom Arnold, the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
He's got a bunch of good people, but Scout's great. I love her.
She is one of the sweetest people ever.
And of course, she was in Halloween too.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Scout. Like you said, I was a fan of her in the Halloween franchise. Yeah, but in person, you couldn't meet a nicer, sweeter person ever. I got such a great story. We had some art, and I waited till last minute to go see her and Daniel Harrison. They were catching their flight. Long story short, she stopped what she was doing just to sit there and talk, and she remembered me from a con from a couple years before. It was my first con, and she stopped and signed, and I gave her some free art, and they actually hung it on the Talk Scary to Me podcast. So it was pretty cool. And she was so nice about it.
Did you go to the Monster Museum to see her?
I did. I went to Tom Dublin's Monster Museum.
Danielle, right? Was it Danielle?
Danielle and Scout, and they also did their podcast there live, Talk Scary to Me, which I do now. Since you're bringing that up, I will be there for you, for Tom Dublin. You're doing a signing, and it's on the 30th here in Boulder City. Yes.
You guys got to come down and see me there. It's in Boulder City. And I got great Christmas presents I have a whole store. I don't do just 8x10 shots from the movie. I have scripts, I have statues, I have the book I wrote, I have Captain Howdy's green pea soup.
That's a good seller.
I have some things that I'm the only one that owns. So they're bound to become collector's items because one of my friends just makes them only for me. So come on down from 12 to 4, and you have to Google it because I don't have the address in front of me.
I can do it.
I've actually looked. I'm gonna find the poster so I can put it up. I know Nicole sent it to me, and I saved it on my phone. But we will pop that up so everybody knows where you'll be, and they can go check you out at Tom Devlin's. I haven't had a chance to get down to Tom Devlin's museum, but it's on my list to go and visit. Never.
Oh, listen, you guys, don't just come down and see me. He has these horror figures from every great horror film that we know of, and I've seen other people do them, but his are the best. They're so lifelike, they're going to jump on you or something like that. So come on down, see the museum. And I think we're doing a podcast. I know we're doing a podcast before that, but I don't know
Got
any
it.
information about it.
So it's 1310 Boulder City Parkway, Boulder City 89005. And you can go look it up. Tom Devlin's Marching Museum, and they did remodel it recently within the year. And it's awesome. It has so many awesome collections and the models in there, and it's fun. And I love that he has you there signing this Saturday.
That was a result of Shockfest, because we ran into each other, and he asked me to do the podcast, and then he asked me if I would do a signing.
Very cool. Fun.
So everybody come down, say hi. If you mention this, what do you call this? Not a podcast, is it?
Podcast, yeah.
Okay, well, if you mention this show, I'll give you a little gift.
Oh, that's huge.
I think that's so cool. How awesome. You were
Little is the operative word.
So that's how it happened, though, because I asked him. I said, I'm going to be at Shockfest, and he said he'll go. He'll say, I'm going to try to make it. And he did make it, and you made it. And I love that collaborating. I did see you last year at the Days of the Dead, and she's so freaking busy, and her displays are amazing. And she takes the time with her fans to really embrace them, and nonstop, though. It's not like she had a break or like that, but she's still so devoted. And I'm going to share something else. I'm jumping around. So we went out to eat when there used to be Nightmare Cafe. And I was really hungry too. I'm saving for this meal. And we're waiting around. We're at the table, and I'm like, what's going on? And I've come to find out that the waitress was too starstruck, and they could not wait on us because of Eileen. And I was ready to take her little self and put her at a different table. So I was so hungry. So, I know Eileen wants to share with her fans that she's very approachable. And if she's at a table, please feed her and the people that she's with. I was like, what's going on? Is there like a Twilight Zone? And then the owner came by. There's a partial owner. And they're like, I'm so sorry. And she points over at the waitress. She goes, she's very nervous because Eileen's here and she's starstruck. I'm like, I will just push her to a different table. I need my food. But you're so gracious to your fans, and you take the time, and you do, the signings, and you show up, and your performances too. And I got to witness you on a couple sets are stellar. You're just really good at what you do, and the looks and the roles that you dive into, you nail it. And I want to say thank you for being an amazing woman, talent, and just.
I paid her. John, did you pay her to say all that?
I donated a little money. No, I'm just kidding. No, she thinks the world of you.
Say anything. I'm just that way. But no, I want to say thank you. And I did want to hit some things besides you are having the sign in at Tom Dublin's, which I'll kind of mention throughout in case people are just chiming in. And I will market it in about tomorrow at 6 p.m. or 6:01 when I'm not on the naughty list. Not on the naughty list for some reason. I got put on there. I have a big support team here, and they just adore you, Eileen. They look forward to seeing you, and they can't wait to get other items that you have for sale there. The pea soup is pretty cool. I love that part. Just
really green pea soup.
Yeah, but I like it. That's from the Exorcist, which I have this. Maybe I'll add some pea soup next time for the Halloween prop. I mean, I like that.
Some extra pea chunks on there.
Yeah, some actual real looks. Yeah, but I want people also to know that there's a lot of independent filmmakers, and I touched base before with you're open to working on indie films.
I do a lot of them. I think I have 140 credits on IMDb, and I got to tell you guys that I really am so blessed. I mean, that sometimes I'm signing my name on a picture, and I'm saying, wow, someone's paying me to sign my name on a picture. How amazing is that? And it's like all my childhood dreams, been coming through. And I'm just awed by what I can do in films that I do. And in my life right now, in my career right now, I'm just totally awed by it, and feel very, very, very grateful that I can do what I do.
And I know the
People
fans,
pay me to do it.
I can speak on it from the fans' point of view as well. And we appreciate guests like you who embrace the fans as much as you do and relate to the fans. And you know, as much as you find the joy with them, you bring the joy to them. I mean, it's just such a great experience when you can have that with your fans. And the fact that you embrace it the way you do is super cool. I love that. I think it's awesome.
You know what most people say, like you said before, like, do you have any idea of the nightmares you put me through? You know, I thought there was a monster under my bed for 5 years, you know, or I couldn't sleep, or all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's like the nightmares. And, you know, and I feel, okay, that's what we're supposed to do. Of course.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, nobody knew that The Exorcist was going to be The Exorcist when we shot it. And it's something people usually ask me about, that it was just a horror film we were shooting. So, but, you know, it just exploded, and it still works, you know,
It still holds up great.
And there's no blood, you know, like something like Terrifier that works on a totally different level, because there's actually no blood. The only blood in the whole movie is on the spider walk, and I didn't do that. But the blood is coming down from her mouth. But basically, there's no gore, there's no blood. So we like to call them thrillers. Horror is so much full of gore, and can I, you know, figure out something that someone hasn't done before that's more gross and more horrible. But things like The Exorcist and Halloween, and even Chainsaw Massacre, there's really no blood. It's all about the story, and you know, scaring people with the story. I think Chainsaw Massacre comes the closest to it, but there is no gore. There's no people pulling people apart, or, you know, killing people. It's Chainsaw Massacre, but nobody's killing anybody with the chainsaw.
And the funny thing, and then what it does so great in movies like The Exorcist and Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is when you watch it, until you think there really wasn't any blood, it's the anticipation of the kill, the fear of not so much the blood and guts, it's what happens in that and what's going to happen. And that's what made The Exorcist so great, Halloween so scary. It's not the blood
all the
and the
years
guts.
I've been doing this, John, and all the years I've been doing this, I never heard anybody say that before. And it's so right on, the anticipation that when you go into the room for The Exorcist, you don't know what you're going to see. You know, and that's what's so scary about the movie. I mean, if I may interject here too, it's the beauty of what Dick Smith, the makeup, you know, the master makeup artist, may he rest in peace, but they decided that the Reagan character should not be this monster with like big eyebrows and, you know, like we had bad teeth on it, but you know what I mean, a real monster looking. And they decided to make it someone that was approachable, so that it could be your kid, or the kids watching it could think that could happen to me, because it wasn't that far out. And then the makeup progressed, and getting more scratches and more stuff like that. But that was the beauty of it. And like you said, the anticipation of every time they walked into the room, what were they going to see?
In all three of those movies, to add to it, the sound, the music adds so much to those scenes that fit so well. I mean, The Exorcist and the music, you know, the theme song, you know, the sound. It's the same thing with Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, that sound, the first note, it's kind of like, oh man, heart starts pumping, the air starts coming, because you just know. And yeah, those three movies, especially The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Halloween, I mean, what they did with the sound, the budget that
Friday
was on
the 13th wasn't bad either.
Yeah, right. All of them were great. A lot of the 80s, 70s films, it's so new to it, and there was so much new coming out, and so much talent that came from it, whether it's Tom Savini or, you know, Greg Nicotero, all these great legends that are still doing it today, that are still loved to this day. It's you know, what they did in the 70s, 80s, it's great to see it come back to the practical effects. And
you know, the makeup people that you mentioned, they all learned their craft from Dick Smith. He was the first in the 70s that created this. And then also taught all those other people. It was like the turning head in The Exorcist, which, hello, surprise, was a dummy. And
Nobody really turned the head around like that.
He was the first person that did an automatron that actually moved. And he was just the first and foremost, and he was just a genius. And I think Tom Savini has taken over his makeup classes. If anybody's looking,
I think you're right. I think
how to
you're
be
right.
a makeup artist, and you can do it online. You don't have to come to Pittsburgh.
That's pretty cool.
That's
So
the
I
cool
just-
thing about technology now.
There's people here that are saying hi. So I just want to say thank you, John Potash and Kevin Duffy and Ashley Kirkgrove, Patricia, Antonio, Jamie Schmidt. There's a lot of people here. So I want you to know you should be popping up their highs on your screen.
I had it on the applause and changing the pictures around because I was going to pull up. And let me do it before I do pull up those. I want to pull up the Tom Devlin event so people can see where it is for a second.
Please stay tuned this Saturday. Come join me in saying hi to Eileen Dietz. I can't wait to see her again. Just amazing talent. And we're grateful that she's here taking the time to speak with us. And she's going to be at the red carpet that is sold out, Desert Fiends. And I found out that Gravitas Ventures is not going to release it on the 10th. They're going to wait till next month. So
you better be there. You're going to have to wait an extra month to see. And you get
I just want people to know it is sold out. I'm glad people are coming. I'm glad Eileen and her husband Tom will be there. It's an honor. And now that I know that Gravitas isn't releasing it on the 10th, we just found out a little bit ago, they will be moving it till January. And so everybody that came to see us, I'm so grateful. And it is sold out, so there is no more tickets. So that means no more room. But we are glad, and we'll have you there in spirit. Michael too. Yeah, he's like, is Michael Tooth your
He's the artist. He's the artist who does like all this.
What did he
a lot
make
of the stuff behind me?
Make anything for Eileen back there? Is there anything?
I don't have any Exorcist right now. I do have Exorcist, but I don't have it. It's all packed away because I'm going away in about 14 days or a couple of weeks to Tulsa. But you know what? I do need to do when I do an event. Me and Mike will definitely be doing, an Exorcist deck or Reagan deck. That'd be really cool in blacklight. So, and when I do get to a convention and Eileen's there, we'll be bringing some really cool Exorcist.
What kind of well, you just said I'm going to do Memphis next year, right?
Oh, Memphis. I did Memphis this year, and that was a good show. I did the panels there, and we did a lot of skateboard decks. We did them for we did a Halloween for Tyler. And
wait. What do you do at conventions?
What do? I do
I
a
know
little bit of
nothing
everything.
about you. Nicole and I just keep talking, but I don't know anything.
I'm not into. You guys are the ones who are interesting. I'm just.
I want to know about you. What did you do at the conventions?
Now I'm getting interviewed by Eileen Dietz. This is exciting. This is exciting for me. What do? I do these podcasts. I do a show every once in a while when we have time with Beatrice Bupley.
Yeah, what do you do at the conventions, though?
Oh, at the conventions, I put on tables. I showcase different talents, whether it's we did the Xenomorphs. We had Carl Toop from Aliens, and my buddy Lonnie did that piece back there, and art and skateboard decks.
You showcase them? What does that mean?
Well, here, I'll show you what some of my tables here. Let me see if I can pull one up here while I'm around.
And what do you do? Skateboards?
I do a little. I don't do most of it's what they do. Like Michael Toth is here, but let's see. This will be the easiest way.
He said he's going to.
What do I do? I basically I'll showcase different talents. I do the podcast.
How did Michael get in front of my face, Michael?
We do. I mean, like anything, we try to do one of a kind pieces. Like we don't really do NECA toys and stuff like that. Like we might do Funko Pops. We try to do as a team a lot of different creative stuff. So
let me tell you something about Funko Pops. The Funko Pops with the vomiting on Reagan, they're not making them anymore.
Oh, really?
Hot Topic doesn't have them, and look at that. That is wild.
That was in Memphis. That's just part of the table.
So you design skateboards, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of skateboards and stuff like that. That's Michael Toth who's there. You see the Pennywise. That's by Lonnie McCullum. And those are actually Funko boxes down by it that light up down by the Pennywise head. Those boxes, they light up and stuff. And those
So they're
decks
not
are all
making
black and white.
Reagan.
I heard that. So, are you bringing some with you to Tom Devlin's this Saturday?
I have one vomiting, and the rest are not vomiting because I have to get
One left. Oh, I have to get that one. Sorry, people. I have to get there first. I will buy it, and they can't have it. And so they're never going to make it again, though, with the vomiting. Sorry, I need to make sure I have my collection too. So
most of the people that would come to shows to get them signed got them off of Hot Topic, and Hot Topic just doesn't have them anymore. And I went to the website for Funko.com, and they're not making them anymore. I have no idea why.
they're going to put yours on eBay.
Yeah, well, I should save them and sell them for a lot more on eBay.
Another great filmmaker out there. I don't know if you know Peter Anthony, Eileen. He did the Roseblood Friday the 13th movie, and he's got a movie coming out, Laugh, with Terry Kaiser and Steve Barton, who's one of the main producers on Terrifier, and that looks really interesting. So welcome to the show. Who else we got here? I'm catching up with the chat still. I can't walk and shoot.
That's right. I saw chats, but I had to tell
Steve's not here, is he?
Steve
Barton?
I know. Is Steve on there?
No. I was just saying Peter Anthony's is working with Steve for his Laugh movie.
Yeah, Steve has a book that just came out.
Yeah. Steve's awesome. He's such a nice guy.
He's Uncle Creepy.
Yeah, Uncle Creepy. He's been on the show a few times. He's one of my favorite guests. He's such a good guy.
He put together Dread Central, and then people took it over, but that was his baby.
Yeah, he's been on a wild ride, and his success is really, really a great story. So I'm happy for him with the book release. I know he's been excited about that and all the success he's been having. He's just such a fantastic guy. Like I said, he's been on the show a few times. Actually, he came on with Peter, I believe, was on with us at one point, and it was just a great time. He's just easy to talk to. You ask him one question, and he's happy to talk about his stories, his journeys, his experiences, and he's
also very, very grateful.
Yeah, that's the thing.
For his life. I mean, there are some of us. I guess there's a lot of us, that are very grateful that, I happen to, if you buy my book, by the way, it's called Exercising My Demons, you'll know how I got the part. And it's mercurical, actually. They say luck is being in the right place and the right time and being ready for it. In our case, being talented or knowing your craft. And, things just happen. I was very ambitious in a good way, and I knew they were casting a part for a play called Ontological Proof of My Existence, which means there is no proof. And it was written by a woman who really writes about wrestlers, Joyce Carol Oates, and it was a preamble. Anyway, I went there, and they were going to cast somebody else, but they cast me instead. And as luck would have, it's a great little play. As luck would have it, there were two agents that came to see the show. They used to come see shows before everything was electronic and stuff. And they called me the next day and they said, "Do you want to audition for this horror film called The Exorcist?" And so that's how life works. If I hadn't been in that show, and it was for a principal actor, by the way. People like to call me a double or a stunt double. It was because I don't do extra work, and stunt doubles and people like that are extras. And if it had been that, I never would have gone up on it. So all these circumstances just came together. And then I auditioned for it a couple of times, and I met the people. I did a screen test for it. And they brought out this big cross. I swear to God, they were working out props as well as my acting stuff. And as a joke, the prop people brought this really big cross for the masturbation scene in the screen test.
Oh my gosh!
It was just really funny. But I'm just and all that is in my book.
What's a book? Say it one more time, because I'm going to go look it up because I'm going to order it.
Yeah, why don't we let everybody know where they can get your book from? So,
Exercising My Demons.
Okay.
I like the title. That title's great.
Yeah, it works. I've
It
sold a
does.
lot
It
of
does. It's
copies.
a great
And,
title.
we actually did an audiobook, but they're in the process of, it's not ready to go out there yet, but I think it'll do very well. And the book is all written in first person. So I did the narration myself, and I know the book is good, and you'll find out things that you never knew about. And if you can't make the show, let me do a little promo for myself. If you can't make the show on Saturday, the best way to get in touch with me is on Facebook. No, the best way to get in touch with me is Eileen Dietz 11 at Gmail. And my email's better, but you can go on Facebook and send me a private message to Eileen Dietz, but be sure the profile is myself and my husband, because I have 3 profiles. I have no idea why. I get really mixed up. So if you are interested in buying that book, I did the Griffin Collective. I got that right? The people that do interviews and stuff like that. Anyway, I sold 50 books.
I'll have to grab 2 so I can do a Doomsday Script giveaway.
Oh,
We'll do
yeah.
a giveaway or something.
Do a what?
I'll buy 2 books so I can give one away. We'll do a show where we give one of your books away.
Okay.
Yeah, well, definitely mark it, because I'm going to buy it next.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to grab a couple.
Realize, Eileen, you've done so much in your life, and you're just giving us a little bit of tidbits of everything you've done. You've enriched yourself and so many other people. It's a really
The beginning of the book is how this little skinny little kid with flat chested with buck teeth said, "I'm going to be an actress," and people laughed at me. And so the beginning of the book is really about following your dreams and don't let anybody take away from them. And some things that kept really quiet because people would just laugh at this little kid. And I skipped a generation, but from Jane Mansfield and Bridget Bardot and all these women with, these big tits and big women. I want to be an actress. So the whole beginning of the book is stories about funny and sad and dramatic about that led me to doing The Exorcist, which was not the first thing I did in my life. I did a lot of other work before that. But that's the whole beginning. But serious, and it's about dreams, and it doesn't have to be an actress. It can be a pod person, a podcast, or someone who owns a wardrobe shop, or even someone who just wants to be a mother. It's about dreams and holding them close to you and not letting anybody take them away, because there's a lot of negativity in the world, and people like to say, no, you can't do that. And so that's in the beginning of the book too. And some funny stuff. And I had a Me Too incident when I was young and went to summer stock, and he fired me, sent me home. That's pretty good. What? And Adrian Barbeau was in that summer stock company.
Oh, there is so many layers. There is a question though that Adam Newsom says: does Eileen still have the teeth from Exorcist? Do you have teeth from The Exorcist? Don't answer. You're not supposed to answer. No, don't say. Maybe I should have said that.
For legal reasons, we are not going to answer that question, Mr.
We're not answering anything. Sorry, Newsom.
But the thing is that if any of us had any idea that these conventions would be happening and people would be selling things from things, we would have saved everything. A piece of the prosthetic and the teeth and the contacts and everything that they had, but who knew?
Was it when you were done filming it? Was it kind of like, okay, it's a job, and you were done with it? You were excited.
We all went our separate ways and said, okay, time to do another project.
You've been on a lot of these projects.
I did a play with Tony Perkins.
Anthony
Broadway. I did a Happy Days. I did Helter Skelter, and I loved shooting Helter Skelter. I was one of the Manson girls. And then General Hospital, where I played a character in the mental hospital. You guys notice a pattern here, right? You're right, John. Well, it was done. It was over, and we all just went our separate ways and did what I did. They did what we did.
And it turned out all right. I mean, people still, I think, vaguely remember that The Exorcist.
Linda
Probably,
is amazing, but
one of the most popular horror movies in history. I mean, it's not up there, like you said. Halloween, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist. If you're going to list 3 movies off the top of your head of horror,
and still are. And I mean, a lot of times, friends and I, we talk about, what will be the next classic horror film, and there's no way of knowing. Will Terrifier still be as popular 10 years from now? Who knows? I mean, we Saw was really popular, but I don't think it's really a classic. So I don't know about, films that are coming out now that will really be classics.
Sometimes you don't know until 10 or 20 years later. I mean, some of the franchise, it's like, all right, you see the movie, even like, I'll use Scream as an example. When I saw it in the 90s, the 80s horror was coming to an end in a sense. And what Wes Craven did with Scream was great at the time, but you didn't know how it would hold up in the long run. And, you go to a convention and the Scream people are there. You just forget it. The lines are insane.
No, they get lines around the block, totally around the block. And they keep making more.
Yeah.
So I do have a question, and so you didn't know.
Oh, we're not going to let you talk. No, I'm kidding.
I gotta talk. So I have to, because now. So when you did The Exorcist and you didn't know it was going to be big, what was that aha, like, hey, there is something here? How did you know that it went to something more? Like, what were you seeing when it went to something more? What did you know?
I understand your question, and I'm not really sure. I think doing conventions and seeing the power at conventions and seeing how people wanted to follow. And I mean, Linda Blair is a huge draw at conventions, although she's always 45 minutes late and keeps people waiting. But I think it is that the films have the power. What do you guys think? That's one of the things I think. And then they kept reissuing it and getting more and more people and younger people to see it. So I think that's the phenomena. But it's a good question, Nicole. I'm not really sure.
Oh, I was hoping to know, so I have something to look out for. Like, is it happening? Is it? I want to see about the films that we put together, and I want to know, is it power in numbers? Because independent filmmaking, yes, Terrifier opened up that door, and we want to come through too with what we bring, and hopefully when we get to go to these conventions with some of the talent that we have in there, that it is building a fan base for them, which would be very cool to know that they did enjoy the film that was put together. So
yeah, well, the thing about conventions that you can't bring a film to a convention that has not been intensely popular, because if people haven't seen it, then they don't want to buy anything from you. And that's just because I've done some really, really interesting and fun films, and they're basically on Tubi, maybe Prime and stuff like that, but not enough people have seen them that they would spend money like to get a screenshot. You know what I'm saying, guys?
I know.
Sometimes you get that hardcore fan. Is it cool? Like, everybody probably comes to you and talks to you about The Exorcist, but that one fan or few fans that come and see a movie that you really enjoyed the role you played, and they really appreciated what you did, aside from just The Exorcist, but enjoyed that role. That, is that a cool experience?
Sometimes go on Tubi, and if you go on Tubi, you can put a name on there, and then they could say, "Oh, that sounds interesting," and then they'll see it. But and Terrified, they promoted the hell out of that movie. I mean, they worked really hard, and they did every convention and bought bought tables, had their product on tables, talked it up. The success that they had is no way a surprise. They really, really worked at it up to Terrifier 3,
And the iconic look of Art the Clown. I mean, it just captured an audience, and that's not easy to do. You have so many horror villains and slashers and this and that define a character.
There's clowns everywhere.
There's a lot of clowns, but for one reason or another, Art the Clown just really captured. And I think a lot of it is they weren't afraid to pull punches, and they really, went to whether people enjoy it or not, because I know some people it's just too bloody and gory, but they did go to that extreme, and they did go to that place in the movies. And the fact that they were able to get, say, a Terrifier 2 in the theaters opens up a lot of the doors for these new indie movies coming out.
But it wasn't what luck is a residue of design, whatever they say. That they worked really hard to promote Terrifier, and then got them on. Terrifier really did very little for them. Terrifier 2 is what, and David, Art the Clown,
Yep.
I really like to say, he is one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. And he's so excited by his success. And
yeah, he's a
wow, how did this happen? I was a waiter in New York City, and they asked me to audition for it, and his story actually is that his agent said, no, you don't want to do that. And he said, yeah, I do.
Oh, we have to do a shout out.
Happy birthday, Gary. Is today your birthday?
happy birthday.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. But anyway, so his agent didn't want him to audition for it. And he said, no, it sounds interesting. I'm going to audition for it. And he's just so grateful for, we hang out sometimes. And he's so grateful for what's happened to him in this film. And I like to see that in actors, really, that, because we all work so hard to get to where we're going. And maybe some people have an overnight success. I don't know, but
not many.
We just work really hard. It's not something that was given to us. And, manifestations. I believe in manifestations, but they used to have a book called The Secret. And the problem with that was, I want to be an actress. I want to be an actress. Oh, God, please let me be an actress. I'm manifesting. I see it. Honey, you got to get
actually didn't have a huge
you got to go in the house. You got to take an acting class. You got to meet people. You just can't sit home and say, "Oh, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor."
There's somebody else that says, Jason Whitmarsh, can you please pull his up? Because he said, I absolutely fell in love with you and came and spent the weekend on my city. You made memories for me forever and forget. So you have a fan here that I'm just letting you know that cherishes you, and you made something memorable that they can carry with them for their whole life.
Vegas? Is he talking about Vegas? I spent the weekend in my city.
You know what, Jason? You got to be more specific, because, Eileen does travel nonstop a globe everywhere. I'm so sorry, Jason. Be more specific, but, I know I seen Eileen with her fans, and she really embraces everybody and takes the time to talk to them. And that's special. And I witnessed this phenomenon between celebrities and their fans, and how they take care of people. It's amazing. So what you do is you really bring people to feel good about themselves, or they can connect with you or your character. And that's huge. So I know you realize this. You have to realize this, that what you do for people is so special that it really helps save their life sometimes, from what I've heard and what I've seen and what people shared with me. And that is a phenomenon. There is something, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like, I stood from afar and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see that interaction. There's some, whatever that is, it's special. What is it called? I don't know what it is.
It comes out of being so grateful. And each and every person is important, because each and every person has seen the film. So everybody is important that comes up to the table. And I like little kids. They go, hi, and I give them a button. My favorite scary movie is probably Night of the Living Dead.
That's a good one.
And I miss George Romero. My manager, Chris Rowe, used to handle him. So we got to be really good buddies. And I used to call him the friendly giant, because for a man that made such great horror films, he very, very friendly, very sweet, and very nice, and very supportive. And he died. So, he's passed, but he was a good friend. And I remember seeing Night of the Living Dead. I was in New York City, and I saw it at a movie theater. And I walked home by myself. Oh. And I thought there was a zombie behind every parking meter.
That must have been a scary walk.
Was
it scarier than the movie, The Walk Home?
Pardon?
I said, did it turn out The Walk Home was scarier than the movie?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, was the walk home scarier than the movie? In
Almost,
hindsight?
yes. And my second scariest movie was always Jaws, which just, oh my God. And I grew up, after I left New York City, I lived on Long Island for a while by the water. So we were very close to Jaws and what had happened. And that was my second scary movie. But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good question.
Jason Whitmarsh said he drove you around and set up your table for you at East Moline, Illinois. Am I saying that right? What is that?
Yeah, yeah, that was he doesn't do conventions anymore. I'm trying to think of his name. Ryan somebody or something like that. Was that it?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, he just stopped doing conventions. It was taking his health away. But yeah, Jason, thank you. Thank you for driving me around and setting up my table.
And I am excited. So there is an opportunity for people to come meet you here in Nevada at the Boulder City, Devlin's. That's what I'm not going to make it. Tom Devlin.
Nicole, you should move to your right and see the sign behind you.
Oh yeah, okay, that's okay. I feel like I'm kind of sitting on this.
Sean Phillips. It says Sean
C. Phillips. We want to say thank you for Sean C. Phillips. Like I said, we got to be working together because of Sean C. Phillips. I think that's the first time I got to work with you. That is the first time.
Snowing in Vegas. Remember we shot that?
A lot of stuff, and you got to see those wild burros, the donkeys. It was very nice, very scenic, very beautiful, but the weather was wicked.
It was snowing.
Snowy, blood, and
cold. You know, Scout and I had a scene together.
Oh yes, Scout got to drive around too.
We decided we would just talk really fast because it was so cold, and we just wanted to get the scene over with, like in one take. So.
It was rough. I can't wait to see what you got to be part of. And I'm really blessed to have you and got to meet you. And Kevin that I signed up for, he's like, I don't know what's going on. You know, that's my husband. You have to throw him in there.
Well, he was the one that drove me to the site every day.
Yeah.
You know how some people just bond? I mean, I meet obviously so many people and just hundreds and hundreds of people that I meet and I've worked with. And somehow Nicole and Kevin and I just bonded and made this friendship. Of course, really? Kevin football and we love football, so that helped.
I don't do football, so no matter what, I'm just like, I will have a check on this one, check me out of it. But I do get to see you on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting that last bobblehead with the puke, because I think I want that before anybody else.
Okay.
Get from me.
Yeah, get your puke and Regans, because you're not going to get them after a while. You heard it here. You miss out with the vomit.
Oh, that's my next book, A Woman's Guide to Football.
Oh boy, I don't know that. No, I'll definitely.
Premise number one: if you bet on a game, hockey or basketball or football, suddenly you have a rooting interest in it. And if you're doing it with your husband or your friend or someone like that, you don't want to bet money. Then you have to bet what we call a gimme, and it means that if you lose, then the other person has to do anything you ask them to do that's ethical and moral and legal.
Okay, whew. I was gonna be like, I'm definitely gonna lose. So
you say, I want an ice cream cone and it's 10 o'clock at night. The other person has to go out and get it, you know. Or I want a full body massage. But whatever you work, if you do bet on the sports thing, it suddenly makes it much more interesting.
Okay, well, maybe
that's my
it does. It's a bonding thing. It sounds like something that you and your husband also bond over. It's not even so much the game; it's the experience, the adrenaline that you guys get, and sports is like that. I remember even back when the Red Sox hadn't won the World Series. Now, it didn't have to do with gambling. Even my ex at the time, she'd be on the bus all the time going to work, and she'd be hearing about the Red Sox. And when you kind of feel like it's a community or an involvement, whether it's with friends or family, it's the thing that really brings people together. If you can look at it that way, Nicole.
No, and Kevin, her husband, and I, we get him seats because we're VIP people at Caesar's Palace. So we get him a seat with us on Monday Night Football usually, and so
you like that. You
very excited about that.
but rest of that, I'm like, la la. I check out. Talk about seeing me check out when you're talking
Nicole, talk to me for a while. I'll get you an interest in football. I promise.
about.
In
We'll
your
see.
spare
We'll
time.
talk later on that one. There's, but I do want to say, I want to shout out a couple things. I know I got to see you in a movie called Grandma's Cookies from Shock Fest, which was really cool. I mean, you've been in a lot of movies, so I have to definitely
Did
catch up on all these
you
movies.
see Grandma's Cookies and Shock Fest?
I think it was. Didn't they show it at the AMC afterwards? Like 8 hours straight of watching films. 8 hours straight. I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't get to see it at the Shock Fest because I turned into a robot that wasn't that good at reading things.
They never showed it that night. They never showed it that night.
Oh, they did it, so they put it though on AMC.
We're just having this conversation. Excuse
I'm
me.
sorry, we're like, but also I want to share too that you also did Clown Motel, and you did really well in that. And I know you had I got to see the first two, and you were in the Mahals too a lot. You're in a lot of their films.
One of them, actually.
One of them. I lied. See, she caught me. I'm a liar.
Well, they told me they're going to put me in the next one. I think it's a mafia film or something.
Yeah, so you'll be seeing them on the red carpet. They're going to be there, and so will Tom Dublin and some other people that make films, and that's nice. So everybody comes together.
That's why I'm taking the red eye to just support everybody.
Thank you, and I'll make sure that you're taking.
For 1 o'clock in the morning.
You'll just be like, Nicole, you owe me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. We'll pay for it somehow. But I just want.
Are we doing for your show what you like for your show, or are we digressing here?
What are we doing for the show here?
No, I'm asking John. Is this what you want for your show, or are we just digressing?
Oh no, this is what this show is about. I mean, it's about, just talking with each other and letting the fans kind of get to know you as the person as well. And these kind of shows where we're just talking and you and Nicole are going back and forth. I love that. That's what these shows are about.
Make sure, because we were on one-on-one, because I used to do a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. I don't do quite as many anymore because, there's just so many.
Yeah.
That's
people
true.
Are funny. Oh, I have a listening audience of 10,000 people or something like that.
But you have an event coming up this Saturday, and I really do. Once I'm not in that Facebook jail thing, by 6:01 p.m. tomorrow, I will share this. I will share your IMBD. I'll share your link, and anything that you need me to add to it, and then I will share the heck out of it because there's a big, huge community here.
Share like what I said before, if they're interested. My website isn't quite up yet, but if they're interested in that stuff, to send me a private message on Facebook. But if you send me private messages and it's not about merchandise, this demon's gonna come get you.
Yeah, no.
Be polite. We expect you guys to be polite to Miss Dietz.
And is she
I
will. So you want to see this? They don't want to
make sure we post.
They don't want to mess here. I will cover you.
You got the bloody sledge.
I will.
Well,
This is
things and skate to hell. It's just
oh my gosh, you're seeing and stuff like that. And the place that we filmed that, you worked with it was you and Eric Roberts and Jenna Jameson and Todd Bridges and Michael
and Thomas
and Tom, your husband, and your friend Laura.
Let's give a shout out to Laura Wilson. She's a Brit. She just came here and she has done more independent films and things like that. I mean, she's done like 30 projects in a year. 30.
Wow,
and she hasn't got a car. She gets around from LA and Hollywood, California, and without a car. She takes a bus, she takes a train. I think she takes a Sparrow or whatever, however she gets there. She's probably like Mary Poppins.
Probably. Maybe she's like an alien.
She shot Skate to Hell, and she also shot Clown Motel 3.
And Alien Horde.
And
I saw her on set.
Yeah,
because you're like, Nicole, you didn't tell. I'm like, I was really busy trying to handle that LA traffic that was quite horrible. And then I got a big old missing gap tooth. It fell out when I was driving that director, Brandon Slagle, and I was with John Wells and Elizabeth Chamberlain. And I'm driving like, I think my whole tooth just fell out. I think we're going to die in this LA traffic. It was not a good experience, but they survived.
God, that's awful. Oh.
Oh, it said I'm in skate to help. Yes, Robert Bass. Hi, Robert. And also, Larry's here. Gary, Stefan Carl said, thank you for giving us opportunity to play our trailer.
Very close.
Yeah. There's a lot of people chiming in.
She did all the photography for, we had a screen for a film called Days of the Cicada, which I really liked my work in that one.
What was your role in that? Give shout outs. The
movie is actually about this guy who's in jail because they say he killed his parents, but actually it was the cicadas. They only come out every 17 years for some reason, but then that's when we shot it in Cincinnati. It's unbelievable. It's just this constant buzz. They're just everywhere, but they only come out every 17 years and they breed and then they disappear. So it's about this guy that's in jail for having killed his parents. When you find out it was the cicadas, and I play his parents' mother's sister. And so I hate the guy because he killed my sister. And then it goes like that. And it's just it's fun.
Sounds like a fun movie to see.
And I won't tell you what happens to me. And by the way, Joe Castro, who next to Dick Smith, is the most amazing FX person that
we were
just talking about him.
I did talk about him a lot. I was in awe when I got to work with him on Clown Motel 3. I love him. And I love other special effects like Eric Addermoni too, but Joe Castro just like takes it to another level, and the way he makes the heads and the jaws to extend, like the craft behind it.
He's absolutely amazing. And he really wants to act.
The realism he brings in his things, like the severed heads. We were just before the show. I was talking to Nicole today. It's funny you bring up Joe Castro, and I was talking to him like, oh yeah, he's one of my favorites out there. And I forget how it came up, but yeah, everybody knows Joe, and yeah, he's one of the top guys out there. He's doing some amazing work.
Yeah, he is, and he's doing another film. I believe that Thomas and I are going to be part of. And that's all I know about it.
You're not sure anymore. You know how they make
all you need to know is Joe Castro's doing the SFX, and you're in good hands right there.
Absolutely. I haven't seen Terror Tunes, but I imagine.
Well, I heard about Terror Tunes 4, and then Ozzy Capri shared that he had some kind of alien member that it's I can't even explain it. I don't know how PG I can talk or not, but oh, look at that. See, giving a shout out to Eileen. So I know he wants to act. I'll see what I can do. I know that Dirty Joe, Joe Gonzalez, the one that played one of the mutants, is making a music video.
Oh, really?
Dirty freaking Joe.
Too, because me, Lee Wydell, Brett Wagner are going to be a part of it, and he's putting the music together for Desert Fiends 2.
Who did that?
It's going to be his name is Dirty Joe Gonzalez. He was one of the main mutants, but he wants to put like a short film / music behind the scenes that will be towards Desert Fiends 2. So I'll be like, you know what? I think Eileen would be really good, would really add some value to this scene. So let me see what I can do, and I'll talk to him. So yeah, I just think you really bring like this charisma, and the element of the role that you're bringing is very captivating. I mean, you nailed your roles, and I've seen your work, and I've seen you in person very well.
But wait till you see Days of the Cicada. It's some of the best work.
Yeah, really good. I'm gonna have to see it. And is it
Mary Kate just said she liked me in the film.
Oh yeah.
Jason just brought up the Clonus horror, which is really, really underappreciated. And just a really fun part.
It's available on Tubi. So after the show, guys, watch the Clonus horror.
Yeah, or Night of the Caregiver. I'm going to promote that.
Night of the Caregiver.
Yeah,
we'll post any of these too.
Film.
I'll post a lot of them in the Doomsday Script group, and I know when Miss Vegas over there gets out of her Facebook jail, she'll be posting that stuff all over.
I know. So. I mean, if I would right now, I would share the out of it
until she breaks the rules. Hopefully, not by 6:02.
There was no rules. I don't go. There's no rules for me. There's no such thing as rules.
Yeah, but you got to be careful on Facebook. I'm really careful. And like I said, they gave me a warning. I think all I said was, you don't go see this movie, this demon's going to put you in really trouble or not kill somebody. And that's when they gave me a warning and said, you can't do stuff like that.
But you got warned. I get nothing. All of a sudden, I couldn't post. And I'm like, why isn't this posting? And then finally, I tried to post something today, and it says, tomorrow we will allow you, we restrict you, but gave me no reason, no community standards where I could abuse it, nothing. I think because I went behind them, because I'm only allowed to share 3 things. So what I do is I copy and paste, and I will take my hours and I will mark it that way. I said, I will go around you. You want to stop me? This is not stopping me. It's just making me spend a little bit more extra time, but I'm still going to get to where I have to go or do what I have to do. No matter what they do, I will go right to that. See how I get, just like with this gravitas, I was dreading that it was going to come out on the 10th, and people are going to see it before we saw it on the red carpet, and now that's not happening. They're pushing it out. So I'm like,
the universe totally takes care of us.
Yeah, it really did.
The universe is surprising sometimes. Just you let it happen. Sometimes you just have to let it happen. I have a slogan in my house that it might not appear the way you thought it was going to appear, but believe me, it's terrific. And that's what happened with the red carpet.
Yeah, and I feel really, really blessed and grateful. And at first, I didn't know where to go.
Somebody is reporting what, Robert?
He's saying somebody was reporting Nicole, and that's probably why she got
only one. It probably was a bunch of people like,
haters gonna hate.
And you know what? And people can try to limit you, but you'll get strangers, complete strangers that want to support you. So there's people that can, but guess what? There's other forces that come into play, and it will present itself. And I felt that anything in the showbiz has really opened up a lot of doors and opportunities and wisdom and awareness. Because
that looks better without the lamp. I'm sorry, I just turned the lamp on.
I'm changing the lamp thing. I'm like, no, put the lamp on. But I'm hoping that you come on board for Desert Fiends 2, and I hope. Let me see mine. Want to see mine?
There you go. Hey guys, it's almost an hour.
It is. It's about that time, and I know you'd be like, I'm hungry, and I like your flamingos in the back.
I passed hunger. I'm into starvation.
I was like that the other day when I was with
we starved for Eileen Dietz. I mean, what kind of reputation are we leaving?
I can't drop food or nothing. I can't. We don't have that technology right now to nothing. But is there anything else with they can connect with you through your Facebook? You're open to anybody coming on.
11 at Gmail is the best way. Facebook, Eileen Dietz, but it's the profile with my husband and I, not the other ones. And come on down to Tom Devlin's this weekend, and hopefully I'll be at Days of the Dead in January.
Just don't take my what's it called? Bobblehead. What is that? Mogul Fungo? What?
Your Funko Pop.
Yeah, it's like nobody's gonna take that Funko Pop on me.
I promise I won't even put it out.
You can put it out if someone just put it for a high.
So you cannot have this. This is for Nicole Vegas. You can look, but you can't touch.
I'm trying to collect as many as I can. And my manager's middle son, who's actually my best friend, he works at Funko, and even they can't get them.
Well, Mike said he has some too, and maybe we'll see about. He does the art on the Funko Pops too. He'll sometimes put some art on the side of the boxes, which is really cool. So maybe we'll see if Mike wants to.
Say it again. What?
On the Funko boxes? Do I? You know what? I got one right now.
I know the Funko boxes.
But what I'm saying is, Mike, the artist, he'll draw on this. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's a mankind. He'll draw. On
the artist to put the Funko Pop together?
No, he buys the Funkos He does all my
Oh,
art.
I
He does a
see,
lot
I
of
see.
work with. He'll draw right on the box and put.
so like I could put Pazuzu on the box since it's
Yeah,
right.
he does some really cool stuff.
That's
Like
a
this
good
one
idea.
was actually signed and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
do have these Pazuzu figures lying down that I said before. I'm the only person that owns them because this guy Larry Butler, um,
G. Larry Butler?
it's not Larry Butler, is it? No,
I don't know. You just said Larry Butler. So I was like, G. Larry Butler?
no. I lost his name for a second, but I'm the only person he makes them for. And
So
he
they're
sells
custom
wholesale. He
made.
doesn't do retail. He goes to a couple shows himself. And so come on down and find them. You got to get there early though, because I didn't bring as much stuff as I usually bring.
So
Oh,
get there early.
that's a pressure. I'm going early. I'll be in line. I know there can be long lines too. At least it's not going to be too hot out. And they can enjoy seeing you and taking photo ops and buying your items. And very cool. Yep, we put it up there. And I will be there. And anything you need, I'll be at your service.
You're flashing that Tom Devlin thing, like the flashing with Zuzu. It's just go.
Yeah, go leave it on there for like 10 seconds. Can you put it
Okay.
on?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I just didn't want to cover our dear Eileen's face.
No, she's got it right there. Her face is still right there. So very cool. It's this Saturday. Come bring the family because it's fun also for the museum that is there. It's pretty cool. And they might even start having when do they have that what's his name? Not Santa Claus, the Grinch. They have the Grinch. Yes. So
they do usually do screenings around Christmas time and stuff like that. It's really a whole one experience. Anyway, I gotta go, guys.
All right. Well,
I
gotta say thank you to you lovely ladies. Thank you, Nicole, for joining me. And it was a true honor for you to come on last minute and join us, Eileen. And
it's just like,
like the universe, like I said, the universe says that we drove in on Tuesday from Hollywood because you can't drive in on Wednesday. It's just one big.
Oh yeah, the traffic. A nightmare
from Hollywood, and they said leave before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which we did. So I happened to have the time available, and that's why it all worked out so great. And thank you for having me, guys. Really, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, chat.
Very complimentary. My head just got this big.
No, you're the most humble, easygoing, fun-loving.
By the way, I can promote. I did a film called Beverly Hills Exorcist, which is all green screen and stuff like that. And it's a disembodied head with like it's just the craziest, most fun movie. It's not out yet, but I won the best villain in a film for that movie. And these real estate people are trying to get this head out of their house so they can rent it, which is why it's called Beverly Hills Exorcist. And it's really fun. But my head is this big and my eyes.
It's a real big head in the movie. Yeah. I just want to say, Exercising My Demons is your book, so I want to make sure that Kevin orders it for me. Like Kevin, order.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it as a surprise so that you can get it for Christmas.
Oh no, I want it now.
I want it yesterday.
It's 4 weeks away, and no, 4 weeks away.
I need it right now, so I'm gonna message Kevin because he's still at work right now until midnight. I'm like, order this for me or a couple of them. Thank you so much. That's all I say. I'm like, order this for me. That's all. He doesn't even say anything. He just.
John, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you guys.
My head really is about this big right now. And like I said, anybody that mentions the show, I'll give you a small gift.
Oh, good. That's
small being the operative word, but they're fun small gifts.
Yeah, really special. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. And
Ron, I wish you could come. You got to fly in from.
You know what? I was talking about possibly flying in January since I don't have any conventions lined up, and that way I have an excuse not to do too much work, and I don't have to set up a table, and I'll just fly into Vegas because I haven't been to Vegas. Get some of that nice warm weather from Missouri. Get down over to Vegas. And
people think Vegas is warm. Vegas is not warm.
That's true.
I had packed 6 sweaters and a really nice down coat that I have. Vegas.
So no Speedos for me. So we're not going to do that.
Good.
Well, there wouldn't be Speedos
California.
even if it was 110 degrees. Trust me.
No, but people
Thank you
from
guys so
California
much.
in December, January, February, and March, and it is cold. And everybody just comes with, like you said, with shorts and short sleeve
Thinking
shorts.
it's going to be
Thomas
warm and
I
have this
were wearing
nice.
jackets with a scarf, and we were out in Malibu because my vet lived in Malibu, and these people were trying to swim, and they were so cold. They were from Australia.
You don't know.
Thomas and I have jackets and scarves.
You're like, what is wrong with these people?
We're gonna swim because we came all the way from Australia. So if you guys come to California or Vegas, dress warm.
Or bring some warm stuff just in case, because
You can like I knew a woman from New York. She used to go, Leia.
I like that. But you and Scout do know. You and Scout were super cold. Even if we had this warmers outside. We had hand warmers, hot cocoa, coffee, nothing. It was that cold. It went right through everything. So, all right. The Dolls of Horror. Is that summer? Summer. We know
Days
summer.
of the Dead.
Oh,
We were just talking about Days of the Dead.
We're just talking about Days of the Dead. We miss you. We miss you. We'll see you in January. Hopefully, all of us celebrating, coming together, being all wild.
Hey, everybody out there, by the way, go to Days of the Dead webpage and tell them you want to meet me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when I'm allowed to post again, I sure will. I can't comment.
You be careful because they're once you're in jail,
Kevin's gonna be off on Thursday too. I'm gonna use his phone and mark it. And he's like, "What are you posting? What are you posting?" It's his phone. So if it's something weird, you're like, "That doesn't sound like Kevin," because it probably isn't. It's probably me on his phone marketing.
What do you think a short answer because I really have to go? Don't they have there's something they're doing instead of Twitter called the Blue Sky or something like that? John, have you heard about it?
I haven't.
I think it's called. We'll check it. I think it's called Blue Sky, and they're trying to put it together. All these people are leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk. And
I have trouble keeping up with Facebook.
Did you look it up just now? Is it called Blue Sky?
I can look it up really quick for you. I never heard of that in my life, so I don't know how Blue.
Yeah, I can't find dozens of people. Dozens of people are.
Jay Grabber is a collaboration with Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter Blue Sky app. So I guess there is. Oh.
I haven't done it yet, but it's something they're trying to replace. Maybe Facebook too, because people are getting upset with Facebook.
Well, it's just because I think what they're trying to hint that they want me to pay to market. I never did that. I usually do things organically and I share the heck out of things, but I think they're showing the ads, and if you pay, it'll be easier for you. I'm like,
listen, I know so many people in jail from Facebook, and
me.
With that cute thing, John. Again, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed myself. Thank
you everybody for staying tuned, and see Eileen on Saturday, and you can connect with her, and we'll add some stuff about her book, Exercising My Demons, that I am buying, and the Funko Pop
and the vomiting figure.
That's what I want. So,
good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.